Well, now I'm upside down. Hold on. Are we not shooting landscape on Facebook anymore? Guess not. Hold on. Hi, YouTube. I'm coming. I was ready, and then I haven't broadcast from my phone in a while, and I screwed it up. Hold on. Here we go. I guess we're not. Oh, shoot. We're having tripod issues. Y'all are seeing them behind the scenes. Welcome to Online Steps to Success. Thanks for doing this. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. And my hair's crazy. Okay. Here we go. Again, here we go. There we go. We're back now. And we're rolling. Sorry, y'all. It's having a technical difficulty with my phone. I guess you can't broadcast landscape on Facebook anymore. So I'm broadcasting from my phone tonight for the first time in a long time. I've been dual broadcasting on my computer for a while, and it's really hard for me to see my chat on Facebook on my computer. So, hi, Diane. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, friends on Facebook. Look, I realize my voice is really annoying tonight, but we only have a few online steps left this year, and I was like, I can't miss, so you're just gonna have to deal with my voice, I guess. And we have a lot to talk about tonight because we are gonna go to war with our negative mindset. So I'd love to know where you're from. I don't know why this is doing that. That's no good. Hold on. I thought I had my notifications off, and I guess not. I'm off my game. Alicia's here from Brunswick, Georgia. Welcome. Hi, April. Gosh, I'm so glad to have y'all. Hi, Olive and Debbie. Are y'all ready to hear all the things tonight? I hope that you're ready because I'm a little bit lit up. I'm a little bit on fire. So, first of all, welcome to Online Steps to Success. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Allison Dahlke. And I have been doing this direct sales life crazy thing for 11 years now. And that seems insane to me. 11 years. Hi, Lisa from California and Courtney from West Virginia. I'm so glad y'all are here. And direct sales is one of my favorite things in the world because it allows people to live a life that they designed and not one that was designed for them. You get to be your own boss if you choose to do so. And it gives freedom and flexibility. So we are huge fans and we want to help your business be successful. Our goal at Online Steps to Success is to help you dream big, work smart, make money, because that's important, and change your world and the world around you. So I'm glad that you joined us. Hi, Norma, watching from Washington. Are y'all ready? I asked you just a little bit ago on Facebook and on Instagram on my personal account what the biggest hurdle you were having right now in your mind is. And mindset is such a huge, huge blocker for so many of us. So this really comes from tonight, me sharing this comes from me having sort of a little bit of I didn't have a mental breakdown, but I did have a little bit of a mindset block this weekend. And I want to talk a little bit about what that looks like. My voice sounds peaceful. I don't know about that. It's getting better, actually, believe it or not. But I want to talk about why we come in contact, I think, with this negative mindset sometimes over certain areas of our business. and what we do to combat that, how we can overcome it. And I reached out to you guys and said, tell me what your biggest mindset block is right now. Like, what's the thing keeping you from moving forward in your business? And so many of you responded. And this is a huge issue. I couldn't even read all your comments. I read many of them, but I couldn't read all of them. So thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. And just helping me understand a little bit more about what it is that's holding you back. So if you missed that post on Facebook or Instagram, I'd love for you to comment here and let me know, what is the thing right now? What kind of negative mindset or what kind of like a mental block are you having in your business that's keeping you from going where you want to go? I'd love to know. I may not be able to address it tonight because I have a laundry list of things, but I really do want to know. Because we get in this negative mind trap and it is not a healthy thing. Also, while you're doing that, this would be the time to share this with your friends, with your teammates, with people that you want to be your teammates, maybe, and tell them to come check out what we're talking about over on Online Steps to Success. So we're going to dive in here pretty soon. Thank y'all for sharing. I love it when I can read your comments, but it like distracts me a little bit. So I'm like reading all the things you're saying, and they're so good. Thanks for sharing. I'm making a few notes. So this weekend, I want to tell you a little bit about this weekend. This past weekend, we had one of our dream retreats. This is something that we just really felt the Lord calling us to do, to help people dream big dreams and to be together as a team. And so, with their spouses. That's one of it's like kind of like our heartbeat, is that we want this business to be a blessing to your family and to your marriage, not something that is hindering that, right? So we just have some tools that we share and some ideas and some tricks. So we had an incredible, amazing, I'm talking like all-star cast of people here this weekend that like I was intimidated and nervous about. Honestly, like, what am I going to say to these people? And it was amazing. So we had our dream retreat weekend and we had 4 couples here. And I do have to shout out, my neighbors are amazing. They found out that we oversold our retreat, and my neighbor across the street, Kara, said, hey, do you want to use our whole house? We're going to be out of town. So we got extra rooms in their house. My other neighbor, Angie, let us use their golf cart to take people back and forth. What? That's amazing. My neighbors are amazing. It was super sweet. They're amazing. I'm going to spoil them rotten, so don't you worry. But they're really, really awesome. So I want to thank them. But we had here this weekend the Zinzins. So Rochelle, Delinda, it's just my voice. She said, does the audio sound fuzzy? It's just my voice today. Sorry about that. Rochelle and Scott Zinzin were here. From Houston. They're amazing. It was just awesome to get to know them and love on them. Jerry and Joel Spry were here from South Dakota, which they are our long-standing Cincy friends, and it was really awesome to have them here in this setting. And then Becca and Terry Levi were here. I mean, where do you say they're from? Utah, Hawaii, whatever you want to say. They're stateside, and they came and joined us, and that was such a treat and a joy to have them here. They're all the kinds of amazing. And then Nick and Chris were here, and seriously, they're just dreamy and amazing. And it was just an amazing weekend. I don't know how else to say that. So anyways, it was a great weekend, but I sort of ran into a mental block and sort of a mindset screw up this weekend. By Saturday night, so it starts on a Friday evening, and we all come and eat dinner and do some get to know you stuff and all that. And then all day Saturday, we do content and dreaming and strategy session, all kinds of stuff. But by Saturday night after dinner, I was in my head a lot. You know what I mean? Like when you get in your head and you start to believe the lies that the enemy is telling you. And I was really in my head, and I was starting to think, I can't do this. Like, I'm not qualified for this. I really shouldn't be standing in this space. Like, Why are we trying to encourage people in their marriage? Like, what qualification do we have to do that? All these lies just running through my brain. And I was just really struggling with feeling qualified and feeling equipped to do it. Um, so Sunday comes and we go to church, which we always do. And um, this woman taps me on the shoulder after church. And church was great and it was all wonderful. And I'm showing all my friends around and all that stuff. And this woman comes up and taps me on the shoulder and she says, "You don't know me." Um, and her eyes are full of tears. She's like, "But I used to sell Scentsy and I followed you for a long time. And I just want you to know that what you're saying about marriage and the way you're encouraging people, it matters. And it matters more than you know, and all this stuff." And I'm literally just looking at her like, "Seriously? Like, I can't believe that you're, first of all, brave enough to come up to me." She didn't know me. We never met. Um, and then that it was just the exact right thing that I needed to hear because I was feeling discouraged. And I would definitely say that for me, I look at that and think that was just a sweet gift from the Lord to encourage me to keep going. And I think we get those a lot. And what's funny is I've told the story of this weekend. I've told the story of being discouraged. And I was actually in therapy today talking to my counselor, and I was telling her the story of how I felt Saturday night and how I felt overwhelmed and underqualified and just believing all these lies, like who do I think I am, like to try to do this. And I forgot to tell her the story of the woman who tapped me on the shoulder. And all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you the best part." She looked at me like, "What?" And I was like, "This woman came up to me," and I told her the story. She was like, "You are so wrapped up in the lies in your head of feeling unqualified and feeling like you're not enough. You're forgetting those nudges, those important reminders, those important things that are keeping you going, saying you're on the right track." And I know that's not just me. I know that you're doing the same thing, that you're making progress and you're walking into things you feel like you're called to do, and you're growing this business and you're growing this team. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you start to believe the lies, and sometimes you start to wonder who cares, and sometimes you start to think, what are people going to think of me, right? All of those things. And we forget about those little sweet gifts that we get sometimes that are the nudges of people saying, "You're doing an awesome job. I appreciate you. You're really affecting me." All of those things, right? We just let those fly by sometimes. And we can't do that. We've got to make sure that we're collecting all the good with all the bad. But the problem is the bad and the negative in our head is often so much louder than the good. It's so much louder. I had received affirmation, really what I believe from the Lord, through this woman that we were on the right path. And I was still telling the story of how discouraged I felt. What's wrong with that? Have it all backwards. I'm still letting the lies be louder in my head than the truth. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. I do want to say something else really quick. Becca shared this with me this weekend, and it gave me a lot of confidence and it made me feel better about some things. So I told her, I said, we get a lot of flack for we share our faith. I talk about Jesus when it's appropriate, when it's part of my story. I can't not tell you. And she said, she's like, "I always tell people it's kind of like," and if you know Becca at all and you've heard her, you've probably heard her say this. So just bear with me, but it's a good story. She's kind of like, it's like if Mrs. Fields, she has this great cookie brand. She owns Cinnabon. She has this huge, beautiful brand. It's like if I went to her and said, "I want to know how to make the best cookie in the world. How do you make your cookies?" Right? And then she gave us a recipe. She says, "Yeah, sure. Here's the recipe. Here's how I do it." And we went home and we looked through the recipe and we start to make the cookies. And then I'm like, "Oh, we just don't do that much sugar. So I'm not going to put that much sugar. And I'll just do a little less sugar. It's not going to matter." Right? And then I'm looking through their ingredients. I'm like, we don't really love milk chocolate. I'm just going to put dark chocolate in it. I'm sure it'll be fine. And we don't like pecans. So we're going to leave those out. We're going to put something else in, or we're just not going to put anything in its place. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And baking soda, is that really important? I don't know. I don't have that, so we're not going to put it in. It's okay. Then we make our cookies, and they're not as good as Mrs. Fields' cookies. And we're disappointed, and we wonder why. And we go back to her and we say, "Hey, I made your cookies, but they didn't they're not as great as yours. Why?" And she says, "Well, how did you make them?" And I said, well, I looked at the recipe, but we don't really like sugar that much. And I tell her all the things I didn't do, all the things I left out. Well, how am I ever going to expect to make cookies like Mrs. Fields if I don't have the whole recipe or if I leave pieces out? So, and honestly, I was just having a very honest conversation with Becca saying, I feel like sometimes I get flack because this is what I share. But I also can't. And so I was just kind of working through this out loud with her. And she tells me this story. And she goes, it's like if somebody asked you for your recipe and you only gave them part of it. If you leave out the chocolate chip cookies and the chocolate chip or the chocolate chips and the chocolate chip cookies, they're not going to be good. They're not going to be chocolate chip cookies. And so when we leave out pieces of our life that are incredibly significant in our story, we miss things. And so it gave me the confidence to say, no, I have to keep doing that. I can't not. I feel like a fraud when I don't because it's just part of who I am. And I feel like I'm not giving you the whole story because if I leave out the parts that are important, that were important to me, that were significant to me, then I'm not giving you the full recipe for how I did it, right? So tonight, I tell you that because I do have to give you a little bit of just my honest, it's just my journey and what I believe as we battle this negative talk in our minds and how we get over that. And I want you tonight to walk with a practical tool that will help you battle whatever negative kind of negative mindset you've got rocking that you are like, I see this and I know it. Here's something I want you to consider. You may be watching this thinking, I'm not really struggling with that. Like I don't really have a negative mindset. I will tell you the biggest breakthrough for me happened this year when I went to a mastermind event and an amazing woman looked at me and said, the negative self-talk has to stop. You have to start taking credit for what you've done. And it was like somebody slapped me in the face because I did not realize that I was doing it. So you may be thinking, this doesn't really apply to me. My head is good. I'm so good. Not really battling anything there, whatever. I would encourage you to listen and press into it because I think sometimes we're blind to our own negativity or blind to the beliefs that we've started to believe. And as soon as I could see the way that I was talking to myself and what I was believing about my business and the work that I had done in my business, as soon as I could see it, I could take action to fix it. And so I hope tonight you see some things and you walk away with the action that you need to fix it. But know that you're getting all of the cookie recipe. You're not getting only part of it tonight. You're getting all of it. All right. So I want to review. I want to quickly talk through some things. And one of the reasons I want to share with you some of the things that people sent me in messages today is because I think there's power in knowing that you're not alone. Because you're not alone. I think it's funny, like when I post something that says like, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I doubt myself. I wonder if what I have to say is important. All the things that jack with my brain, you guys are surprised by. But listen, we all battle the same demons in our heads. So don't think you're the only one. And I want to read some of this to you because I want you to know that you're not the only one battling through some of the things going on in your brain. Okay. Heather said, this is powerful. And this is reflective. And I think it's good. She said, my biggest mental block is my own history. I don't have a good track record of finishing things. I'm not the strongest on sales or recruiting. And I told my friend the other day that I am the most mediocre consultant to ever promote to director. I struggle with helping my team see the potential because I'm not a bigger success. Whoo! Talk about a gut check. I told my friend that I'm the most mediocre consultant to ever promote to director. I just wonder if there's anybody else who would say, I feel pretty mediocre. I feel pretty mediocre. Or maybe you would say, yeah, my biggest mental block is me and my track record and the fact that I have trouble finishing things. Maybe that's you. Maybe you'd say yes. Maybe that's where it is for you. You are so not alone. Kim said, I don't have any team members yet. And then this is what she said to me. Why would anyone want to sign up under me? I never ask because I don't want to hear no. Anybody else? Yeah, I feel like that. Absolutely. I don't want to hear no. So I keep my mouth shut. I don't say anything. Kim, you are not the only one. My sweet friend Jamie said comparison. Looking at other people's businesses and comparing myself to them is my biggest mental hurdle. That's fine. We'll all raise our hands. We'll just all raise our hands. Comparison. Yes. We all battle with comparison. Jamie, you're not the only one. Sarah said, my biggest mental block is my team doesn't seem interested. But then she also said she's leaving her 9 to 5 to do Scentsy full time. Her team doesn't seem interested. Anybody else feel like that? Oh yeah, my team doesn't seem that interested either. What is that about? Team does not seem interested. Kelly said, I struggle with feeling qualified. I have no college degree. I was a stay-at-home mom for 17 years. And when I did go back to work, I had to apply for over 40 jobs before I got a job. I don't feel qualified. Anybody else? Don't feel qualified? Don't feel qualified to run a business? Don't feel qualified to lead a team? Don't feel qualified? Kelly, you are not alone. Anne also said, comparison. And my business dropped low, my numbers dropped, and I don't feel like I can get it back. Anybody else? Yep. Yep. Heather said, I struggle. My biggest mindset is I struggle to stay focused enough to create a system. Taking my ideas and my big dreams and putting a process together is hard. I also feel held back by my current circle of 5, meaning the 5 people closest to her. I feel held back by the people closest to me. I want to elevate, and I loathe the comfort zone that the people closest to me sit in. Girl, I feel you. I feel you. Heather, you're not alone. Molly says, I struggle with wondering if I'm good enough, strong enough, and I wonder what other people think. Yeah. Go on. Raise your hand. We're all struggling with those things. Molly, you're not alone. Erin says, I struggle with not being perfect. Man, as a perfectionist on the Enneagram, number 1, I understand that too. Struggle with not being perfect. First of all, my sweet friend Becca would say you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. And that perfection is a myth. But man, we all feel like that sometimes, don't we? It's lies, lies, lies. Alicia says, one of my biggest mental blocks is not being appearance ready. I struggle with the confidence to make the right impression. I worry that I'm never going to hit my goals, so why try? Anybody else feel like that? Yeah. Alicia, you're not alone. I struggle with believing I have what it takes to continue. I struggle with being okay. This one's interesting. Amanda says, I struggle with being okay with transitioning from a high stress, high money career to a better choice for my family. That's a good one. And it's interesting. Meg says, Meg is my cousin. Meg says, hi, Meg. Believing that I'm smart, good enough, and know that I'm accepted. Yep. And I'll be honest, that's the most popular one. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I'm smart enough. I worry what people will think. It's the one I heard over and over and over again. Just raise your hand, all of you. It's fine. We all worry about those things. Brady says, my biggest mental block right now is that I'm burnt out and I'm out of motivation. Claire says, my biggest mental block right now is I have downline who have distanced themselves and I don't know how to move forward. Molly says, I feel stuck. Megan says, my biggest mental block is myself. Nancy says, my biggest mental block right now is why should I work so hard? I'm never going to advance. My recruiting sucks and my team is comfortable. Man, that's a pretty negative mindset. It's pretty hard to get over, right? Why should I work so hard? Anybody else have that negative mindset? Yep. Chrissy says, I struggle with not feeling good enough or qualified enough. I've downplayed my strengths so much. Why is it that I can recognize greatness in everyone else, but even my wins have me beating myself up, thinking I should have done it faster or better? I need to learn to reach for more and be happy with myself and what I'm doing in the process. Man, I relate to that 100%, Chrissy. How many of you would say, yeah, I downplay my strengths? Why do we downplay our strengths? Because we're scared of who we are. And because we're scared of who we're becoming. Right? Dang. And Chrissy, you're not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. Our minds are the most powerful asset to our business. And yet we're believing pages and pages and pages of lies. Lies about how good we are or how good we're not. Lies about how we should act, about the good things about us, our strengths, the things we feel called to. Lies about what's going to happen if you hear no. You know what's going to happen if you hear no? Nothing. Nothing. It's not our decision to decide for somebody, but it is our decision to offer the opportunity to somebody and let them decide. Right? We let our minds rule far too much. We let our minds dictate what's true. You know who gets in your head and jacks with you? The enemy, the devil, the negative side of the universe, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I call it the devil because what it is in my world. And he's a freaking liar. And he sits on your shoulder. And you know when he sits on your shoulder the most? You know when you hear the enemy the most, the lies and the deceit of the enemy is when we are walking in something we should be doing. When we're walking towards something that we absolutely are qualified and equipped to do, right? And sometimes it's even just when we walk towards something that maybe we're not fully qualified yet to do, but we're having obedience to take the steps towards that and knowing that God's going to fill in the gaps. Because that's where I'm at. I'll just be real honest. That's where I'm at. I'm walking in obedience into the things that I know and feel like for my business are the next steps, for our personal life are the next steps, for my marriage are the next steps. Do I feel fully qualified to do all of it? No. But do I feel pulled like I have to do these things? Yes. Yes. Are they a part of the dream and the vision we have for our life? Yes. Am I going to be able to do it in my own strength? No. And the enemy knows that. And so he says, let me just sneak in here and tell her who I think she is. Because I think she's a fraud and I think she's a fake, which are the same thing. But he lies a lot, so he'll just say the same thing twice. Right? I think he's a fraud and a fake and that she's full of it. She's not good enough. She's not qualified. That's what he says. It's all the crap he says to me over and over and over and over again. Even about this, even about online steps to success, which I've been doing for, I don't know, a year and a half by myself every week with the help of my amazing man who comes in here and looks hot sometimes and then preaches some great word to y'all and y'all get all excited. You guys, there are high reviews when he's on camera because you love him. But you don't think he lies to me about that? Heck yes, all the time. all the time. Am I going to stop? No. No. We have in the past talked about resistance, that when we begin to rise, so as we begin to build our business, as we begin to build a team, as we begin to step into our leadership, as we begin to take our leadership to the next level, we begin to rise. Do you know what comes? Resistance comes to push us down. Principles of the universe would agree with this, right? That this is just the way the world works. As you rise, resistance comes to push you down. You call it the enemy, you can call it resistance, you can call it whatever you want. But resistance comes to push you down. And our job as leaders, as children of God, as powerful, kick booty women, is to rise anyways. Because eventually our pressure of rising causes the enemy to slowly go away. He'll come back all the time. He'll come back and jack with you, and you'll hear lies over and over again. But the point is, if you're hearing lies, it's probably a good indicator that you're on the right track. Because when we're sitting in mediocrity, when we're sitting in comfort, when we're sitting in a space where we don't really have to change or challenge ourselves, the enemy doesn't really care. He's not too concerned with what we're doing or what we're saying or how we're encouraging other people. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about what you get to do as a business owner, as a leader, as a team builder? The encouragement you get to speak into people's life if you choose to do so. The product you get to bless people with if you choose to do so. All the things you get to walk towards, if you choose to walk towards them, are incredibly powerful and positive things. And we downplay them, and we act like they're not a big deal, and we try to make them insignificant. And other people will tell us, that's not a real job. Like, that's not a thing. Like, good luck with that. That's real cute. So glad you're trying to build that business. That's cute, right? Tell you what, you're more than cute. You are powerful. You are smart. You are intelligent, and you are enough. And you're not enough in your own strength. I'm not. You're not either. But with the help of the Lord, we become enough. And we continue to rise when the enemy pushes us down. And we continue to step into our influence and our power and the things that we're actually called to do. And when we push against resistance, there comes this feeling of peace that covers. So here's the thing. The thing you could need to rise against, it could be anything. Let's just start with the first one. My own history. I don't have a good track record of finishing things. Might have been true then, but it's not true about who you are now. You get to decide from now on what the truth is. Are you going to feel qualified and equipped all the time? Nope. You're not. But when you choose to say, that's not who I am anymore. From now on, this is who I am. And I'm going to finish something. And I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to start something that I will finish. And you choose to make the change. I don't have any team members yet. Why would anyone want to sign up under me? Why would anyone want to sign up under you, Kim, when that's the lie that's creeping through your brain over and over again? Today it changes. Today, from now on, why would anybody not want to? I've been doing this for a year. I don't have a team member yet, but when I do, I am going to help them get whatever they want out of this business. Maybe they want to pay their car payment. Maybe they want some spending money at Target. Maybe they just really love our product. I'm going to help them get whatever they want out of this business. Why would they not want to sign up under me? I may not have all the answers. I may not be a leader yet, but from now on, why would somebody not want to? And I'm not scared to hear no, because my validation doesn't come from somebody else's opinion of me. So if somebody else thinks I'm crazy, if someone else thinks I'm a lunatic, if somebody else thinks I'm losing my mind, if somebody else thinks I'm bonkers for trying to build this thing, it doesn't change who I am. I don't have to let it. You want to know what's a total mind screw? I'll just tell y'all. When you broadcast live on YouTube and on Facebook, there's a little number in the corner that shows you how many people are watching. And you know what happens? It goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. You know what I'm talking about? Screwing with your mind? Like the number of times in a single broadcast when I wonder, is this even significant? Does this even matter? Because people are falling off like roller coaster ride. Like, what's happening? And it happens every week. And every week in my mind, I have to battle. Crap, what did I say? Or maybe I offended somebody. Maybe I should have said that. All the things that you say and all the things you think in your mind when you reach out to somebody, when you put yourself out there to ask, when you put yourself out there to say, why wouldn't you want to be on my team? Why wouldn't you want to come with me? All of those things. Everything you think, I think it every week. Watching a stupid little eyeball number. I wish I could get rid of it. Just pretend there's 3 of you, and I would be really happy if there were just 3 of you. Somebody else's opinion of you, somebody else's answer to you does not change who you are, and it does not validate or invalidate the work you're doing. If you are struggling, let's say your biggest mindset block, my team doesn't seem interested. All right. Are you interested? And if you're interested, stop worrying about them. Thanks, Allison. Allison gave you a really good idea. Must be the name. You're like a tiny genius. It's our name. It's just really close to the. All right. I can't see it anymore. Cover it up. If your team doesn't seem interested, hear me when I say this. This is not for everybody. And not everybody that gets into and joins your team is going to do this in the business way. If you're watching this, it's probably because you want to grow this as a business. That's really helpful. And also really interesting how many times I look at that little number. And now I can't see it. Allison, thank you. But not everybody on your team is going to want to run this like a business. And if you're watching this, then you probably are wanting to run this like a business. You want to make a profit. You want to dream big. You want to change your world and the world around you. And not everyone's going to have that. And there's a lot of reasons. They're probably scared. They're probably worried about what other people are going to think. They're probably battling their own little mind screws, right? They're probably battling their own mind screws, just like you are. And sometimes we forget that the things that we struggle with and the things that we are challenged by are the same things that our team struggles with. And sometimes you have to go backwards and remember, how did I feel when I started? Was I being brave enough to take the steps to put myself out there? Did I have the tools that I needed to run a business? Did I truly feel equipped? Maybe not. And that's part of your role as a leader, is to help them overcome the fear, to help them see the bigger picture. Even when you can do that, the majority of your team, always the majority, will not run this like a business. They will not. They just won't. So I talked to a lot of leaders early on in their organization, and they'll say, like, when their team is growing, and they'll say, I have so many people who have 0 in sales, like, for the month, and I don't understand it. And how could they have 0 in sales? Here's the thing. Don't worry about the people that have 0 in sales. Do we want to encourage them? We want to make sure they have the tools they need? Yes. But they're just not all going to get it, and that's okay. That's okay. But what we have to do is make sure that we're not oblivious to the fact that the same things that are screwing with our brains are screwing with your team's brains. they're getting the same screw over in their minds. They're scared of the same things. They're worried about the same things. They're wondering the same things you are. So when we acknowledge, oh, hey, we're all scared. Hey, we're all worried about how this is going to go. We're all feeling a little inadequate. But when we take the steps to work on those things together, that action in itself is what starts to change businesses. It's what starts to change our mindset, and our minds are so incredibly powerful. Kelly, I want to talk about you for a minute because you said, and here's the thing, nobody knows what Kelly I'm talking about. There's probably 10 Kellys. She says, I don't feel qualified. You know what? Here's what I love about this business. Oh, none of us are qualified. None of us. The way technology changes, the way the world is changing, the way business is changing, are any of us qualified to really do this? Do we really have all the tools we need? Do we really know everything we need to know? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And as technology advances and as social media changes and as a stupid algorithm changes once again, we all feel underqualified. But feeling like we're not qualified and choosing to take action to become qualified are two different things. So the question becomes, are you believing the lie that you're not qualified? That's partly truth, which is what I just said. Or are you taking the action to become more qualified every single day? A degree does not make you qualified. Oh, my therapist said the best thing to me today. She said, because I sat across the room from her and said, I don't feel qualified. All the things that I'm stepping into and the way things are going and the way things are growing and the way my team is changing and all of these things and the things I want for my leaders, I don't feel qualified. I feel like a fraud sometimes. I feel like people will look at me and say, who does she think she is? And she can't do what she said she wanted to do. And it's scary when you set a big dream and a big goal and you put it out there for the whole world. Guess what? It's scary. And then the lies start rolling in your brain and you start to wonder, can I really do this? Because I don't feel qualified. And I don't feel fully equipped. And sometimes I don't feel like I know what I'm talking about. Because usually whatever I'm sharing with you is something I'm walking through. My therapist looked at me today and she said, do you know what qualifications Tony Robbins has? And I said, well, I guess since you're asking me, it's 0. She said, you're right. None. There's no fancy degrees. There's nothing. What is it that qualifies him to be Tony Robbins? What is it that qualifies him to change the lives that he changes and to speak so much truth into people? Nothing besides the fact that he gets up and does it every single day. That he keeps showing up. Half the battle is showing up when you don't feel like it. Half the battle is pushing the lies to the side. Half the battle is speaking truth to yourself over and over and over again. What's the lie? What's the negative talk, self-talk that you're dealing with? I want you to think about it really specifically. I don't feel qualified. I don't feel good enough. I worry about what people think. What is it? Whatever it is, I want you to write a statement that is the opposite of it. I'm going to do something right now. I'm kind of getting emotional. I told you a little bit about how this weekend I didn't feel qualified. I kept saying, like, who am I to do this? I do not feel qualified to try to lead people to have better marriages and better businesses and all the things. I felt all the things. I was just letting the enemy lie to me. The only way that I know to combat it is to speak truth over it, because the words that we say to ourselves and the words we say to other people have so much power. And if you're a believer and you're a Christ follower, your words have more power than you know. And we are sometimes too loose to let the negative and the unhealthy and the constricting mindset slip out of our mouths. And we have to stop. And the only way that I know how to stop is to speak truth over a lie. So if I hear the lie, I'm not qualified. What's the truth on the other side of that? I don't feel qualified. Well, actually, I am more than qualified because I have everything that I need to learn everything I need to learn about any single part of my business that I want to work on. I am more than qualified.
Kiss me, Rachel.
I love you.
You smell like mushrooms.
I smell like mushrooms.
Yes. You're making a video.
Yes, I am. And you're on it.
Okay.
Can I hug you? Is it good? See you in the morning. Got a little distracted. What is your truth? If you're saying let me see what you have. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write out the thing that I want you all to type it. I'm challenging you. I realize this is vulnerable, that you have to type this and other people can see it. I understand. I just told you all my crap. So I think you can do this. I want you to write the thing that is the most negative that's running through your mind over and over again. I want you to write the lie, and then I want you to write the truth. So Aaron says, I struggle with not being perfect. That's the lie, that you're not perfect. Actually, Aaron, you are wonderfully made, beautifully and wonderfully made by the creator of the universe, who made you exactly the way you are. And you do not have to be perfect to be powerful. Perfection does not exist in this world, but you are powerful anyways. That is the truth that you speak over yourself over and over again. Let's say, Molly says, I worry about what others think. So that's the lie, right? The lie is other people will think negative things about me. I worry about what other people will think. The truth is, it does not matter what other people think. I do not get my validation from other people. I get my validation from a higher being. I get my validation from God, whatever you want that to say. Shelly says the liars are going to fail. She says the truth. I am the daughter of a king. I'm exactly where he wants me to be. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, y'all are brave. Y'all are so brave. You are being brave enough to write down your lies. So let's say your lie was, I want to go back. Oh, Karen says, I'm too late. Oh, that's good. The lie is I'm too late. Her truth is it is never too late to dream a new dream. Girl, that's right. That's right. You got it. You got Shauna says, the lie is I don't deserve success. The truth is, God has a plan for me, and it is for me to prosper. That's absolutely right. Amanda says the lie is that I'll never be able to help others reach their ultimate goals in this business. Amanda, what's the truth? I'm waiting on it. Why is it hard to say the truth? Isn't it? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say the truth. Because the truth is the thing that pushes us to be more, to grow, to change, to get out of mediocrity. And you know what? The enemy doesn't like the truth. Resistance doesn't like it when we rise. Does it? It doesn't. It doesn't like it when we rise anyways. But it's what we're called to do. Heather says, I'm going back to Heather. My biggest mental block is my own history. I don't have a good track record of finishing things. That was then. This is now. My self holds me back from moving forward. That is the lie. The truth is that I am powerful, and I am strong, and I am disciplined to follow through with what I set out to do. You decide what your truth is, and you stop listening to the lie, all the lies, because there's more than one. All the lies that say that you are not good enough, you are not powerful enough, you are not perfect enough. Yeah, you know what? We're not alone. But when we choose to step into who we're called to be and we choose to step into leadership and growth, that is when things change. Here's the thing, if you are stuck, it's usually because you need to grow in some area of your life. It might not be in your business. It might be in something totally unrelated to your business. You may need to forgive somebody. You may need to let go of some resentment, some anger, because you cannot lead other people where you have not been. So if you are in a place where you say, I'm stuck and I'm here, it's probably because it's time for you to change. Man, I love spending time with Becca Levi. She is a joy to my soul. She said that this weekend, she said, because everybody cries when they come to our house. Everybody cries. And I try to warn everybody, and I say, you're going to cry. Everyone's like, I'm not going to cry. Everybody cries. It's good cry. Don't worry. But she says that nothing grows without water. And that when we're not dealing with our own crap, we're not dealing with all the things inside of us, we're not growing. Some of you are going to be more naturally inclined to kind of deal with your emotions, to deal with the hurts and the anger and the resentment and the things in your lives that are hard. Some of you are not. Some of you are going to have to dig a little deep. Some of you are going to have to dig and put the effort into growing. But you can, and you should, from now until the day that you die, and nothing grows without water. So maybe it's time for a good cry. Maybe it's time to deal with some stuff, but you cannot lead people where you have not been. And if you're not willing to take the steps to go to the next place, you're going to stay stuck. Take the limiting beliefs that you have about who you are and what this business can be for you and flip them. If you're battling comparison, the lie is that I should be where they are. I should look like that. I should be able to do that. I'm not there yet. That's a lie. The truth is that God has a plan for when, where, and how, and that if you keep your eyes focused on your journey and your road, that you will grow in the appropriate time into your business. So much of your success will start in your mind. It will start in your mind, and it will move on from there. I can't give you the recipe without acknowledging the fact that you have to be grounded in what you believe and who God says you are before you can ever expect to grow a business and lead others to come along with you. Maybe it's time to grow. Maybe it's time to make a change. Maybe it's time to repeat the truth to yourself over and over and over again. You need to say it to yourself in the morning. You need to say it to yourself before you go to bed. Are bad things going to happen? Yes. Are the lies going to creep in? Yes. But you create the truth of what you want for your business in your future. You. And you say it over and over again. And you keep taking steps to grow and to change and to become the better version of who you are. That's how you grow into leadership. This is a personal growth journey with a compensation plan. It will change you, wreck you, mold you, build you back up, and do it over and over and over and over again. And the great thing is you get paid the whole time you're doing it, as long as you're working. don't expect to do this thing and do it well without the personal growth. It starts in your mind, and you have the ability to change what you believe through the words that you say to yourself. Your words are so powerful. Stop believing the lies in your head. Switch them for truth and take the next steps. Before we get off, we're done. I have nothing else to say to you. I want you writing out your truth. I don't even want to see the lies anymore. I just want you to write your truth. And I want you to type it over and over again if you want to. I don't care. I want you to type your truth. I want to know what it is. I'm going to tell you what mine is. I heard the lie this weekend that I am not qualified, not equipped, and not enough to strengthen people's marriages and businesses. And the truth is that I have been called, anointed, and appointed by the God of the universe to walk in that very thing, to strengthen marriages and businesses, and build teams within families. That's what I've been called to do by the God of the universe. I am the daughter of a king, anointed, appointed, and equipped through him. Not through my own flesh, not through the things that I can do, because I cannot. I do not have the ability or the wisdom, but through him, I can do all things. That's my truth. And I'm going to probably have to say it to myself every freaking day. I am going to have to say it to myself every day. And you are going to have to say your truth over and over and over again. I am worth it. I am good enough. I'm qualified. Yes, I can do this. I can grow. I can push myself. Yes. Yes. Listen, this is not necessarily about doing more things. This is about believing more truth about who you are and who you're called to be. I am worthy. I am good enough. Yes, 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 you are. The enemy will come after you to steal every good thought. Shower him with truth. I can succeed. God's given me a journey unlike others to be an advocate and a leader. Absolutely, Molly. Deborah says, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. That'll preach. Go on. That'll preach. I am strong. Yes. See, y'all know you got to kill the lies with truth. And the more you say it and the more times you say it, the more your brain switches over, literally changes to start to believe that what you're saying is true. Speak truth and not lies. Your words have so much power, more power than you know. And even the words you think inside your head that you don't even say out loud, the lies that are just in your brain have so much power. Speak truth over them, speak truth over them, speak truth over them. You have everything you need. I love y'all. And I'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Oh, Brian says hi.
Hi.